Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Eurovision news updates.
Macedonia going to be in the 2026 contest? We already have a couple of rumored artists for the 2027 contest, and I've also got tons
Let's
of
skip the
our North.
intro.
I've started doing 83, which is the original of about North Macedonia. Could we see them back in the 2026 or 2027 contest? MRT has released the meeting notes from their 8th of October session. Bobby Antonov, who came 5th for North Macedonia in Junior Eurovision 2008, he's interested to represent. So Bobby Antonov had a meeting with MRT. Let's read about some of the notes about it. Bobby Antonov has personally reached out to the council with a Eurovision proposal, having secured funding from an Australian Authors Association and an international fund. So let's check out some of the...
Macedonia was a part of Eurovision.
I mean, we've reacted to them
Yeah,
before, but
no, I mean like before doing
I don't
reactions, do you
remember.
remember them if they made an impact? Because I wonder if they were missed, like oh my God, they should come
they're
back.
not missed, no.
Oh.
And this is like no shade to them. It's just they're definitely not one of those standout countries.
The key points, council member Ivana informed the council as she
But just overall, to me, the more countries, the merrier. That's how I look at
'Cause
Eurovision.
I'm wondering if it's a big deal they're coming back.
I mean, anytime there's a new country, I think it's cool. So it's just that simple.
2 sessions prior, but the council continues to receive numerous requests from Eurovision fans asking for the country's return to the competition. Antonov reached out to the council himself, claiming that a governing body under the Australian government responsible for authors and composers has already
I would
agreed
compare North Macedonia to like Montenegro, how they came back last year. Probably North Macedonia coming would have the same impact somewhere in the bottom. But, you know, it's cool. There's that one extra song.
provide both financial support and media coverage if North Macedonia confirms its participation. So, in case you don't know, Bobby Antonov is from Australia, but he has North Macedonian roots. Like I said, he represented them in Junior Eurovision. So he's trying to take this initiative.
When there's more countries coming, that means the voting block is going to change. So the dynamics should be a little bit more interesting.
It makes the contest more interesting, right? Yeah, because it's something different, you know?
Trying to get funding, grants, sponsorships, etc., so that he can represent North Macedonia in Eurovision. So these are conversations.
But that's interesting how we're going about it. So basically, it's not that the country wants to represent. It's basically there's a guy saying, "Yo, let me represent you." So without no election, no nothing. He's like, "Oh, I'll represent you. I'll self-fund." Basically, I guess
I can see them doing that because it is expensive sport to take part of. So.
if a country does not have any interest otherwise, then I don't really have a problem as long as they approve the song. It's not like embarrassing, not controversial song like regular song. What do you gotta lose? Somebody's repping your country, you don't invest nothing, go ahead. That's how I see it.
That MRT, the broadcaster, and him have had. Antonov emphasized that his team secured an additional international fund that would cover all expenses not included in the planned budget. He assured the council that North Macedonia would be presented in a modern fashion without the spending of the Macedonian state funds. Now, if you're from MRT, this is a dream come true. You've got an established artist who's already represented you before, so you kind of know them a little bit. You can ask the head of delegation for Junior Eurovision 2008, what was he like to work with, etc. He's coming up saying,
I don't know, that's almost 20 years ago. That was a kid. It's completely different person now. I don't think that's valid.
I'm going to come up with all the funding. I'm going to put forward something really, really professional and cool.
What it
like,
does is
this
is the nostalgia, so it makes people excited.
No, not that. He said like, oh, you can ask people, oh, what's like to work with. It's like, come on, what's like to me work with me when I was 12 versus now? Like what? Completely different
your
person.
personality is established when you're 2.
So nurture versus nature, it's all nature. That's what you're saying?
What they're saying is that your personality is there.
No.
And then after you go through life experience, and your personality is challenged.
No, it changes a lot. It changes a lot.
That's just a thought. I'm
just an open goal for them. They don't even really need to do anything. They're not taking a risk. They're not spending any money. He's doing all the work. They don't need to do a hunt or anything. It's incredible. He submitted several presentations about Eurovision. We stand a presentation. His career achievements, arguments for why he should be selected as a country's representative, return on investment, details on promotional campaign, and information about the team he would work with for songwriting and production. So he hasn't written the song already. He's just saying, look, this is the plan. And maybe one of the pushbacks they had is, okay, this is an awesome plan. Can you maybe give us 2 or 3 options for what the song might be, so we get a flavor for what your approach is? Because there is still...
I don't think he needs options. I think as long as the song is nothing wrong with, like, in terms of he's not trying to embarrass anybody, not to make like a controversy, I don't think the state has a right to pick a song. No, they did not want this competition to begin with. He wanted it, so he gets the pick. I'm sorry. If he's funding, he's doing everything. Y'all don't need no pick. Y'all just y'all get, this is what y'all get. Take it or leave it. This is how it has to be.
That's crazy.
Because to me, that's ridiculous. They didn't even want it to begin with. He's the one doing everything, and then they still get to pick? Nah.
That's kind of crazy. It's like, if you don't put the money, they have still a lot to say.
No, they don't have no say. They just, to me, no.
That's actually a little bit overreach.
The guy is doing everything. All you just, to me, it's very simple. He's not embarrassing, not doing anything wrong. Go ahead.
I was him. I don't know. If they want to be interested now, they would have to contribute in some sort of way to have a say.
If they want to have a say, they better contribute somehow. Monetary, because this is ridiculous.
There's going to be some work and investment on their part. You know, this is all talk. They need to see a little bit more time.
How they see it, allowing you a platform to represent the country, and that weighs something, because it's not like you can just go and represent France because it's not available. You know, here it's available to have that.
They weren't even considering it until he's like begging them to allow.
Because now they want to gatekeep the opportunity, because they see they're the gatekeepers.
Okay, then put the money down.
But that alone, they feel like that has some value to it, that they don't have to put money, but they have the money down gate to open the door for him.
Tangible results. He outlined his specific plans regarding where Eurovision music video will be filmed and what styling concept he intended to present. So he's coming at them with a lot of creative ideas done. Despite the fact that the council had already expressed its position on the matter in previous meetings, Efremovsky suggested that the council should provide a formal response to his request. So it seems like they haven't made a decision yet. And again, we don't know all the things that go in and out. There would still need to be some investment from MRT's part, and maybe they want to hear the songs. We then had this comment on Instagram from Bobby Andonoff saying 2026 would have been amazing, but after speaking with MRT, it looks like everything's moving towards 2027. This gives me time to build it properly and make it unforgettable. So he's got some things prepared. He's working through it, but maybe he's a little bit too rushed. He needs a little bit more time. I think particularly with the song. The song is the key thing. You can say all this wonderful stuff about funding. If your song isn't there, that's a big blip. But then another follow-up is him saying there still might be a chance for 2026. So it's looking like 2027 is more likely. But if North Macedonia are going to come back, this seems like the most viable path. Someone coming in saying, I'm an established artist, I've got a song, I've got all the creativity done, I'm going to pay for everything. That's the main thing. It's kind of similar to the model that Bulgaria had, where they were kind of open to going to Eurovision, but you had to pay for the whole thing. Christian Kostov had private funding. Victoria had a private sponsor, I believe. You're basically showing up to the broadcaster and saying, I'm covering all the expenses. There's so little risk. I just need to compete under your flag. Give me a little bit of creative help. That's it. This is a dream come true. And this for me is the most viable way we'll see North Macedonia back in the contest. I think 2027 seems more realistic. 2026 would be nice, but I don't want them to rush it if it's not going to be as successful. I would rather than wait to 2027 if the song is going to be better and it's going to be more.
Because you don't want to, like, your first entry back, you rush it and then you underperforming.
Yeah.
Because then why would you come back again?
Competitive. I want to see North Macedonia come back and qualify, because then that increases the chances that they'll stay back. Qualifying, getting them a good result. I think North Macedonia is more likely to then self-fund the year afterwards. But really, really exciting developments about them. They will be participating in Junior Eurovision, of course, which is cheaper to participate in. So we will be seeing an entry from them soon. Speaking of 2027, we already have another rumored artist for that contest. Patrick Fiori went on a chat show, Quelle Époque, which is a French like roundtable discussion TV show, saying, I will represent Armenia in Eurovision. Patrick Fiori, I'll just translate this for you. Patrick Fiori announced that he will represent Armenia in Eurovision 2027 after having represented France in 1993, finishing fourth with Mama Corsica. So if you actually watched the clip, it's a little bit less definitive than that. So in fairness, he does say literally, I will represent them in 2027. So that is a direct quote.
Unlimited 1.5% cash package.
En principe, c'est parti is a little bit less sure. Je suis en train de voir les gens qui s'occupent de ça. I'm in the process of talking to the people who take care of that. I hope I'm not fluent in French, so I'm just translating the best I can. I couldn't find a translation anywhere, so I'm doing it for you. Ça va se faire. So there's a little bit more doubt coming in. The first statement is, I will be representing. And then it's like, oh, it's kind of being done. So I would take this with a gigantic pinch of salt. So I have to admit, the impression this gives me is someone who maybe doesn't understand the processes of Eurovision. We saw the similar thing with Jojo Siwa when she was looking to represent Poland last year. I get the impression that they kind of reached out to her, had a small conversation, and in her head, she's like, okay, it's done. I think there's some people who are outside the Eurovision bubble who don't realize how much work and effort goes into choosing the artist. And they just kind of think it's like this quick, half-assed thing that takes 20 minutes. That's the impression I'm getting from this, is that
I think the thing with Poland, isn't it that last year
I'm gonna build the tower.
No, wasn't it like closed door before, and last year they opened the door?
No, I remember it was closed door.
So I think Jojo Siva thought, okay, I'll get in when it was closed door. And then, because they opened the door for everybody to get submitted, then, okay, Jojo Siva can, like, it's open door. You compete if you want to, but, gotta win.
She's not beating.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand it's a longer process because picking your artist for 2027 this early makes zero sense. Absolutely
God,
zero sense.
I would
Why
not
would you
want
pick
to
so
see
early?
her
It's crazy.
performance.
So I think that what's happened is they maybe reached out to him, had a conversation. He's misinterpreted this as it being a done deal, and he's announced it on a French TV show when he wasn't meant to. So look, it's
Plus,
still interesting.
Armenia also has a contest too, so I don't know how he would represent Armenia in 2027. He will have to win the contest.
He represented France before. We know that France and Armenia have this incredibly strong relationship. So it is theoretically viable. He is of Armenian descent, so he has that connection. And we saw Ladaniva recently, who also were based in France, who had an Armenian connection. That is a plausible pipeline. But yeah, I think this is a misunderstanding. I think the Armenian delegation are probably going to message him and be like, WTF, STFU, because even if this was true, there's no way they would want him announcing it so early, because this is going to annoy a lot of Armenian artists who are like, oh, 2027 is already off the table. So yeah, bit of a miscommunication here. But this would be fun and interesting if it could be true. Very strange as well that we have two rumored artists for 2027, Bobby Andonoff and Patrick Fiori, and we have no one confirmed for 2026 this year. So very, very surreal situation where we know greater idea about who's going to be in 27 than we do about 26. In case you're new to Eurovision, we usually have a confirmed artist by this point of the year. Not always, but generally by October, November, we're hearing one or two names already being released, and we still have nothing.
Yeah, I think that's about when Slimane released for them.
Yeah,
for
usually we look at Cyprus and Belgium as the ones who usually release their artists the earliest. Let's stay on the topic of rumored artists, and now we're going to a post from Eurovision Turkey. This is absolutely and utterly speculation, total rumors, take it with a pinch of salt. But we have Lynn, who went viral in France with her song Je pense à vous, and announced that she might participate in Eurovision. I don't know where this quote comes from, so I don't know how reliable it is, but apparently she said, Eurovision is something that could appeal to me. From what I've heard, I know there's a lot of stress and pressure, but I think it also depends on how you approach things. So the reason I'm including this story, even though it's like super rumory, is because I've heard her name mentioned a lot as someone that Eurofans want. I've seen so many Eurofans say they would like to see Lynn. I also believe that she was one of the songwriters for their junior Eurovision song, Ce Monde, for France this year, which is a fabulous song, absolutely gorgeous. So if she's writing songs of that quality for junior Eurovision, it's totally conceivable that she would keep an even better song for herself. So super, super rumory, not confirming this all, but this is definitely someone I would love to see represent France. I don't know what she's like performance-wise, but if the songs she's writing, I really, really love.
Yeah, once he
That's
said that, I don't want her representing nobody. Yeah, that. Oh.
This could be a really, really exciting future. Could this be another artist for 2027? We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so let's get to some rumors about the 2026 artists.
Josephine.
And first of all, Eurovoix are talking about Josephine possibly representing Cyprus in Eurovision 2026. But then they posted an update. So first, let's check the original story and then the update. Rumors have begun to grow, speculating that Greek singer Josephine has been selected to represent Cyprus at Eurovision 2026. According to reports from the Greek TV show Proino on ANT1, pop singer Josephine has been selected. Whilst these rumors have neither been confirmed nor denied, Josephine has been vocal on her eagerness to appear in the Eurovision Song Contest in recent years for either Greece or Cyprus. Eurovoix giving an update on this, so CYBC, which is the Cypriot broadcaster, responding. They denied the rumors and they said, quote, CYBC announces that the selection process for the Cyprus representation in the Eurovision Song Contest is still ongoing. The official announcement will be made by CYBC once the process is completed. So they're not denying that she's not in the process, but maybe she hasn't been picked yet. I believe recently there was a list of 8 names put out and she might have been one of those 8. So maybe they're just whittling it down. Perhaps they're in the final stages. But yes, this is a little bit later. You know,
Josephine is a good pick. I like it. I would want to see obviously the song, but overall, what we reacted from her, I liked. So that's good.
kind of associate that Cyprus has their artist announcement quite early. Still waiting on that to come. Might they announce Josephine as their artist soon? But yes, it does seem viable. We've seen recently that Cyprus does tend to get artists from diaspora in Australia or from Greece. This is a recent tactic of theirs with their internal selections. Okay, we've got some news from
it's not like there's a plethora of Cypriot artists either. Like, it's a small country, like, so why is that a problem?
Luxembourg, their national final, the Luxembourg Song Contest. They seem to have whittled things down to 58 artists singing 83 songs, with one goal representing Luxembourg in Eurovision 2026. The finalists will be officially announced on the 30th of October, and I believe that these final editions are happening right now. So these 58 artists are singing these 83 songs. Maybe a couple of artists have 2 songs in, and we can now get a look at who's on that jury. I believe there's 5 people on the jury. First one of them is Elsie Bay, who you may know from MGP. She's a Norwegian singer and songwriter with Eurovision experience. She's written 5 songs for Norway's national selection and twice competing as an artist herself. And she does very interesting Instagram reels where she talks about all the struggles of being a songwriter in the music industry, not getting paid, people taking credit for your songs, like really interesting insight into this very cutthroat working environment. Her Instagram is very interesting. Okay, second person is Paul Jordan. This picture's wrong. They put the wrong picture in. Paul Jordan, also known as Dr. Eurovision, is a British expert on the Eurovision. He became a media commentator on the event following the publication of his PhD in 2011. So you may have seen him. He often does interviews with BBC and other outlets. This is not the correct picture. But yeah, he is the second member of this panel. The third member is the person in this picture who is, sorry, I don't know how to say this. Is it Gisli Berry? He's the executive producer of Iceland's Eurovision pre-selection Song Verkeppning. He's been brought in. So these are good people to bring in, I think, so far. They know the contest really well. So it's the third one. Number 4, we have Ludovic Alexandre Vidal, who is the lyricist alongside composer Julian Salvia of Luxembourg song last year, La Poupée Monte le Sang. So again, good to have someone who's kind of been in the system before and knows what it entails. And the final member is Karen Gunnarsson, who is the contest producer of one of Eurovision's largest national selections, Melody Festival. So this is a really, really great list of people on the jury. I think last year they had Niamh Kavanagh, Holy Genova. They're the only 2 I remember. I can't remember who the other 3 were. But this list of 5 seems really, really good. I think these people will be pretty good at picking out what's going to work and what won't. So they're going to be making their decisions on October 30th. So I'm not sure how many artists we're going to get. Last year was 7. The first Luxembourg Song Contest was 8. Are they going to mix it up? Are they going to go for 9? Or are they going to go for, I think 8 makes the most sense. 7 is UMK's. Don't infringe on UMK's territory. I think 8 makes the most sense for me. Okay, let's get a quick update on the Israel situation. No big news in the last week about this, but we did have a statement from RTVE. After the ceasefire, we maintain the same position. RTVE would maintain its decision not to participate in the Eurovision 2026 festival if Cannes does. Let's wait to see what happens after the November meeting. I believe they meant the December meeting, which is happening on December 4th and 5th, this General Assembly, which I spoke about in my last episode. But we have an update here from The Guardian in the UK saying Israel has violated the ceasefire 47 times and killed 38 Palestinians, say Gaza media office. And this was on October 19th. So this is kind of 5 days ago. So even more violations will have happened since then. So this is the thing. Are the broadcasters from the EBU actually going to take this on board? Actions speak louder than words. You know, it's one thing to have a ceasefire, but if you're violating it constantly, it doesn't really mean that much. So whether it's because of the genocide or the vote manipulation or constant...
For who?
For the organization to say, okay, Israel cannot participate.
Well, on December 5th, 6th, they're having the symposium or whatever, so they're going to decide then, I think.
Because I would assume right now a lot of countries are getting ready to prepare.
I think
internal selection.
I think the countries are still going to do their local shows,
okay.
but just might not send it to Eurovision.
Constantly bringing the contest into disrepute for 3 years straight. Really hope that the General Assembly makes the right decision and removes Israel in the upcoming vote. Okay, before we get into national final news, I just got to give a little bit of a plug here. I just released my top 24 national final songs from the 2025 season. Go check that video out.
Sponsors, like if people are gonna back out, like I wonder what's the aftermath, because right now we don't have like any sure thoughts of what's gonna happen if Israel is removed. All I know is if Israel is removed. All I know is primarily what's going to happen if it stays. But other countries have been very vocal to say what they're going to do.
I think if Israel is removed,
then everyone will show their cards.
Yeah, I think most people will stay. Germany said something along the lines, Israel must participate, whatever. I don't know, but I think they would still stay. I don't know.
Let's look at the German national final. ARD program director explains why the partnership with Stefan Raab was not continued. Let's go to the article on Eurovoix. And in an interview with all these letters, oh my God, the program director has explained why collaboration with Stefan Raab on the Eurovision Song Contest was not continued for 2026. Ms. Strobel explained that the premise of the partnership was that it would be continued if Germany won in 2025, which was not the case. This is what we were promised. Stefan Raab was brought in. He was made into a little bit of a king. It seemed like he had incredible control over what was happening. He promised that he was going to win, and if he didn't, he would step back. They didn't win, so he should step back. So this is not surprising. This is what should have happened because this is what he promised. I'm fine with him being involved in the background, but it felt like he had so much power over this really messy national final where they were just kind of making things up on the fly. So I'm glad he's taking a little bit of a step back. I think still advise, but giving one person that much power when his success was over a decade ago, I don't think that's the right idea. So I'm happy with this. We said, we're entering into this partnership because we want to win. Now a year later to say, okay, it didn't work out, we'll just keep going anyway, it doesn't feel good. Totally agree. Don't make that bold statement of, I will win or I'll leave, if you're not going to do it. My main hope for Germany this year is that the process is just more transparent, more clear. Say what the process is before the contest starts. Don't just make things up as you go.
But to be fair, I feel like overall Germany got a successful result out of it. Now, the lady, I don't remember her name, but show me love.
Ebner?
Tina,
Yeah, okay.
something. She can't really sing like that.
Mm.
So, I mean, you can't really squeeze juice out of caca, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the song was good.
Yeah,
The
they
song
did,
was good.
yeah,
They
they're
achieved
crazy.
a lot of success at Spotify and overall. Like, the song was popular. So, I think the guy did a good job. He picked the right song. It's just the person singing it, you know. Maybe they bought into the narrative that her throat was sore for half a year.
Yeah, I mean, how can you blame her?
I don't know.
That happens.
She's just not really a singer. She needs either auto tune or some sort of correction for to make her sound good. But on a track, that song was good. That was a good song. One of the best songs of the contest, to be honest.
Along. How many people are being eliminated each round? When does the public get to vote? The public got to vote so late in the last edition. It was just so untransparent and it gave rigging vibes. So I think they need something that's just a little bit more upfront right from the beginning. Okay, we've got some more rumors for Sanremo. I showed you some rumors in my last episode. This again is pure rumors and speculation. But let's look at who All Music Italia are suggesting might be in Sanremo. So let's look at what names overlap. Alpha's been on both lists now. He was with that other list. I think it was called Trash Italiano or something was the list I showed you in the last episode. Angelina Mango being named again. Now, from my understanding is these names are just all coming from rumors. It's some agents trying to get some hype for their artist, hearing things behind closed door. This is not the same type of rumor as Melody Festival, which is like 95% sure. This seems way more just like trying to get a little bit extra attention where you can. Elettra Lamborghini. She wasn't on the last list. That'd be very exciting. I loved her song. Musica il resto so compare. I can't remember. But she shook her ass in Sanremo and that song was an absolute bop. So I hope she has another bop if she's coming back. Elodie and Art Comey. So interesting if Elodie will be in a duet. Elodie, one of my favorite artists in Sanremo. Emma.
Don't worry, Shaq. The General gives you a break to keep you covered, whether it's on your car insurance.
Also being mentioned again, she was in that last list as well. Irma Meta was also in that last list. Madame was in that last list, but it was a duo with Tiziano Ferro. So in this list, she's on her own, but really would be excited to see Madame back. Fedez being mentioned again in a duet. Paddy Bravo, I believe, was also in that list. And then the rest, I'm not too sure. So yeah, some name repetition there, which is kind of exciting. Again, total rumors, but fun to see.
A bunch of artists we recognize, a bunch we don't. We'll see. The ones we do recognize, they make more on the pop music. So if they do go, I'm kind of happy because last year was very sad for me.
I liked it.
I hope this year is going to be more upbeat. And
They did well too.
seeing a bunch of these seems like more upbeat music than last year. So hopefully this is
I
correct.
think last year they placed higher than the previous year that they sent the pop song. So I don't know what you're talking
What
about.
artists
sir.
might we be getting in Sanremo next year? Okay, and next up, let's go to Melody
Mute?
Festival, and we've got a couple
You
more
mute
rumored
much?
artists. The first of them, Autumn Blaudet, has reported 2 new names. So finally, Autumn Blaudet getting the scoop. The first is Jacqueline, who had a fabulous song 2 years ago, wasn't it? Called The Police. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. I thought I was going crazy there for a second. She came 9th. So really excited to see Jacqueline back. I thought she looked great on stage. I love that staging with the kind of, it almost looked like a rectangle screen, almost like the stage from Basel this year. So
I
really
recognize her name, but I don't remember the song.
excited about that. And also Patrick Jean, who was in Melody Festival in 2021 with his song and didn't qualify through to the final. So a little bit less exciting artist there. But Jacqueline's a really, really fun name. I would love her to represent if she's got a real fun bop. Okay, next, let's go to some news from Estilal, Estonia's national final. They've had 171 songs submitted,
Wow,
which I
for such a
believe is
small
roughly
country.
around the normal number. I don't think that's much more than last year, despite their excellent result. Estilal updates have reported that one of the artists who has submitted a song is Yannick. He revealed on his Instagram stories that he submitted a song. This is Yannick Music.
Who's Yannick?
Estilal, one of these songs is mine. Let the mystery begin. So Yannick came 4th in Estilal this year, so just missed out on the super final. It very much makes sense that he would want to come back immediately, having momentum. I remember his music video, actually. I don't remember the song that much. I think it was kind of electronic, so really exciting. Another rumor name, ESC Gabe, is saying Klitscherick and Max have submitted the song Arabella. Gabe says they're probably about the biggest artists in Estonia right now, and Kermo Morel has had a series of hits individually also. This is the early favorite to go to Eurovision, so this is Kermo Morel actually showing the song being submitted. Really nice to have some early hype for Estilal. They also release their songs pretty early. It's usually early December, but pretty much always before Christmas. So that is one of the national finals that I will of course be covering this year. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Okay, let's move away from national finals now to some other news. And Goldilocks from UMK last year has just released her album Two of a Kind. I haven't heard this yet, but it's been getting pretty good reviews. She's got 10 songs. Some of them we already know. Push Back My Alarm was already released. Made of My Religion was a new single that has also just been out. So yeah, and Live Again. So we already knew 4 of the songs, but then there's obviously some new ones as well. So go check that out if you're
I think she did a good job for the simple fact that we remember her and she didn't even make it. I think if you can make an impression
She was talented.
and you don't make Eurovision, I think you did your job. Because there were so many people across all the countries, all the contests. I don't remember all of them, but her I do remember, and I remember the music video too.
Goldilocks fan. We have another story here about Melody, who appears to be on a radio show. She's saying the worst thing about Eurovision is that it's not a festival of music in reality. The interviewer says that it's political, and she says yes. She actually says yes twice. We actually saw something similar from Iru from Georgia. I remember she also went on a radio show and said the reason she didn't qualify is because it's all political, which I dragged her for because that's absolute nonsense. I'm going to drag Melody as well because this is really, really disappointing. So many people in the community, including myself, were telling her that her song was absolutely and utterly dated. And I think that she just either wasn't listening to feedback or surrounded herself with sycophants that she's
I don't know. I felt the song was good and the performance she slayed, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
going into Eurovision thinking that she had a competitive song. Everyone was telling her that.
I like Melody's song. I like her performance. She was one of the better performers. I don't know.
This song was
But
dated.
why would
There
it
were
be
much better
political
options
against
in
her
Fest.
favorite,
Instead of
though?
taking back that
People have beef with Spain.
I don't know. Spain don't really do well in Eurovision.
Yeah, but if her excuse is that it's political, so how does it affect her?
I don't know.
In terms of her
Maybe
being
it's like
Spain.
in terms of like Israel or something. Has to do with Israel. I don't know.
criticism and feedback, she's saying,
because Spain
no, it's all
plays high,
political.
she
I think there were
plays
more
low?
deserving packages embedded on Fest this year.
Spain play what?
Because Israel plays high, Spain plays
Oh,
low. Like when
maybe.
she said to me it was political, I'm thinking, people don't like Spain politically.
I can't answer that. I don't know what.
Because I do have some reasons why they could not like Spain politically.
Okay.
You don't want to hear it?
No, not really.
Okay.
Year, which would have gotten a much, much better result. Instead, her hyper fans voted for her en masse, which they're entitled to do. I think she did a great job on the Eurovision stage. Really great dancing, really great singing, but the song was never going to be competitive. It was always dated. She squeezed all the juice she could out of that orange, but it wasn't a good orange in the first place. So it really irks me when some of these artists won't take accountability for the weakness of their package and instead just blame it on political things. This didn't come 23rd because of a political thing. It came 23rd because the song wasn't good enough. And many people were willing to tell her that if she would listen. I've actually seen a lot of quote retweets from Spanish fans actually calling her out for this. So that's good. These kind of statements are really damaging where you say it's all politics. It doesn't matter if you've got a good package, you're not going to succeed. It's just not true. The cream will rise to the top. Song wasn't good enough. Deal with it. Okay, some more news from our community, and that is that Roy, who is a Dutch Eurovision content creator, is moving away from making Eurovision content. We've actually seen quite a few content creators stepping away. Just this kind of dark cloud that Israel has put on the contest for the last couple of years, and just a lot of content creators not enjoying creating anymore. So he's moving over to create content about sports. I believe he's into motorsports and also football. So if you're a fan of those sports, go check out his revamped channel. But yeah, really disappointing to see that this is one of
name?
Roy PM. Well, guess what, guys? We're not moving away from Eurovision. We'll be here.
the knock-on effects of this dark cloud that Israel's brought to the contest is a lot of people just not
Even if we're moving away from YouTube, we're still going to do Eurovision because that was probably the highlight of our year in terms of reacting.
enjoying it as much. Okay, that's all the Eurovision.
All right.
Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.